Believe it or not, you are a walking CV of yourself. Even before you can open your mouth and talk about yourself, people have already judged your personality by just looking at your appearance. Hello, namaste and assalamu alaikum. I am Umehani and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic of discussion is on grooming and styling for men, where we break a lot of myths related to the topic. And to do the honors, I have a dynamic personality with me who has over 2 decades of experience in both analytics and marketing domain. He has successfully worked with Fortune 500 companies such as Target and HP. He is a co-founder and director of the edutech startup Practive. He is also the VP Education of the Gabby Toastmasters Club. He is a teacher, an international speaker, and a certified trainer. Apart from his professional life, he is also a father and a social activist. He is a die-hard biker. He is none other than the contest chair for the contest, the humorous contest, in fact, of Area E3, Sourav Dutta.
Hi Ume, how are you doing?
Hi Sourav, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm doing great. Diwali, festival season, friends, family.
A very happy Diwali to you and a very happy Diwali to all the viewers. So like Sourav said, it's festive time and you might hear a little bit of crackers at the back. All right, Sourav, so let us start for today. So, I've always heard from people that grooming and styling is just meant for women and not for men. So what is your opinion on this?
See, there is data that shows that this is so untrue. If you look at men's fashion, that is still the second largest contributor to any retail business. And I've been in retail for almost 15 years of my 20 years of career I've spent in retail. So I can say that with some amount of conviction that men's fashion is the second largest contributor to any store after women's fashion, ahead of anything else, even electronics and other such stuff. So if that was true, then half of the retail stores would go out of business. So there is data point which says that men's styling is as important as women's styling. Now the question of grooming, forget about what anyone else thinks about you. For your own personal hygiene, whether you're a man or a woman, you have to groom yourself, you have to maintain yourself well. Otherwise you'll have various kind of issues. Something which is like acne, or something which would be major, something like a long-standing skin disease. Unkept nails, unclean nails, one of the very critical part of men's grooming, could lead to health hygiene issues which are far more serious. And now in the COVID times, grooming is not something you do for others to think good about you. You do so that you can survive. So how many reasons do I need to give for this? I mean, it is a common myth, yes, you're right. But then the mythbusters are many more, and I'm still surprised that some people still choose to believe and want to live in this cocoon that styling, grooming is up to there for girls. Men have to look rough and tough, and they have to look, they just walked out of a gold mine all the time. That's not really the case. Looking tough does not mean looking dirty.
Absolutely. I think you have just broke this myth very well. So when we're talking about hygiene, and a question just popped into my mind, and that is, nowadays we see a lot of men having beard, and some of them look so messy. Okay, and I've always seen you have a beard, and you have maintained it so well. So what is your tips that you want to give to all the men out there, on how to grow and maintain a beard?
See, when it comes to beard, the first thing that we need to decide is that whether we at all want to sport a beard. And some people are comfortable sporting a beard, some people are not comfortable sporting a beard. There are various things which impact a person's choice in this one. So it could be about your favorite movie actor, or what your spouse or partner says, what your family says, or your own personal taste. Both of that is fine. So there is nothing wrong or right with sporting a beard. But what is wrong is to not keep it clean. Any kind of facial hair, whether it's the hair on your head or your beard, you need to take good care of it. And we sometimes trivialize the problems that can be created if you don't do that. So, for instance, a lot of people do not know that dandruff on your head can actually cause eye diseases. One of the major reasons for eye diseases is dandruff on your head. So that is one important part about the cleanliness part. But even otherwise, if you don't sport a beard cleanly, and if you're not taking good care of it in terms of using the right kind of oils, or there are special oils that's available for beard, some which help in beard growth, some which help in keeping it soft. If you've got a hardening kind of things, if you've got a long beard, then that could also help you. So some of these things can definitely help you have a better look. Then the question is about what kind of shape you want to give it. So do you want to keep it square? Do you want to keep it long? Do you want to keep it very short? I tried various looks, and then I kind of watched the feedback I'm getting. One of the important people to give me a feedback is the person in the mirror. So based on those feedback, then I decided this is something that I would want to keep. And I've been keeping this for this last 1 year, 1+ year now. So it's working fine for me. Something else may work fine for someone else. So there's no perfect style when it comes to beard or hair or whatever. It's something which depends on your face structure and your preferences.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I think it's a very good suggestion that you have given to the viewers, that you need to experiment with the beard, because it's also about the face shape, right? The beard should match with the face shape of the person. So if you have a consultant, then maybe you can consult a person. But if you don't, then what you did, Sourav, I think is the best thing, that experiment with a lot of beards and then finally go with what suits you the best. So Sourav, I've heard a lot of people say that there's not much of option, in terms of clothing available for men as compared to women. Okay, so what is your opinion on this?
There are many clothing options when it comes to men. In fact, sometimes I feel that I have more clothing options than a woman, because you have your smart casuals, you have your casuals, you have your beach wear, you have your formals, semi-formals. I mean, there's so much that you can do. It all depends on how much you want to invest in styling. I've seen people wearing t-shirt and trousers with the sneakers and all around the world. And I've seen people who are pretty well dressed up when they're even going to the local supermarket. So it all depends on what you would prefer. But if you say that there are no options for men, you're just cooking it up, because there's a lot of options. Whether it's collars, whether it's colors. One of the common notions is that men don't have many color options. That's again so untrue. When it comes to t-shirts, just for t-shirts I'm saying, you've got mandarin collars, you've got cowl collars, you've got square collars, you've got V collars, you've got round collars, you've got polo collars. So just in t-shirts, you may probably have 8 to 10 variations of the kind of collars that you would want to have. If you talk of prints, there are vertical prints, there are horizontal prints, there are asymmetric prints, there are geometric prints, there are text prints, there are various kind of color prints, block prints that work very well for men as well. So yeah, there are tons of options. The only thing where probably men don't have a lot of options are the elements that get added to the dress, which for that feminine look. But there again, we have got rivets, we have got badges, we have got stickers, and so much of options. But then depending on what you're dressing up for. But then again, if you look at women's salwar kameez that they have for work wear, formal wear, those also don't have a lot of elements added to them. So if you see structurally, it's pretty much the same. Women's formal wear don't have those elements added, like buttons and embroideries and this and that. Not so much of it, right? And similarly, men also have a little bit of subdued look in terms of elements when they're going for formal wears. But if you look at semi-casuals, semi-formals, casuals, smart casuals, it's a lot of elements also available. But yeah, compared to women, then the number of options are less. But I think whatever we have is good enough for us to live with.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of men would have not even explored the options that are available for them. So maybe that's the reason why a lot of people say that there's not much of option available for men.
There's one more reason why men have not experimented a lot with those options, is because in India, we don't have those options available very easily at all the places. You will see that most of the t-shirts are either V collar or round collar or polo. But if you do a little bit of research, if you are a little bit more adventurous with fashion, you will find that there are a lot of box collars and cowl collars also available, and mandarin collars, which look really good on certain body shape and body types. You don't really need to only go with V shape because you have a good physique, or go with round because you don't have a good physique.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Sourav, you just spoke about colors and patterns. So, I have personally seen that a lot of men hesitate in exploring the world of colors and patterns. So, what advice do you want to give to all the men out there?
So, I think the first thing is not only men, but I think both men and women is to break the stereotype. I think someone somewhere decided that blue is for men and pink is for women. And then we held on to that truth as something that we have inherited, and we need to be really, really, pitched onto it. My daughter does not like pink. She hates pink. Anything to do with pink, whether it's a toothbrush, it's a towel, it's a dress, it's a mask, she does not want pink. Now that does not make her any less girl than someone who only wears pink. It's about your personal color. What is your color choice? Like, I prefer maroon, black, red, grey, blue, and I experiment a lot. What I don't prefer is yellow. I like pink a lot, and there are various shades of pink, right? You don't, when we say pink, it does not necessarily always have to be baby pink. There are quite smart variations of pink that are available, and you can wear them.
So, one of the major concern for a lot of men is the belly fat, right? So, which, a lot of men may not really be comfortable, right? To have a little larger belly. So, what is your advice on terms of clothing? That, how can men ensure that their belly is not the emphasis when they are wearing any kind of clothes?
It's not only men, it's also men and women both have belly fat. And probably the kind of dress options that women have is easier to cover up because we don't wear kurta every day. So that's why probably it's easier to cover up than men. But then that problem is not only limited to men. Now, before I get into how you should dress so that people don't pay attention to your belly fat, I would request everyone to pay attention to their own belly fat, because it's not about how you look only, it's about how you live. And see, there's a very thin line between body shaming and staying healthy. So this fat, which is the midsection fat, is very dangerous for your life. It can cause even strokes, and it can cause a range of diseases. I mean, I would run out of time if I want to just talk about that. So the first thing is you make some effort to kind of reduce that. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. I have done that, and the kind of difference that I see in my personality, in my attitude, in my confidence. I'm not even getting into styling and all that, which makes it much more easier. If you're in good shape, it's easier for you to dress yourself up. But assuming that you made all those efforts, or there is some reason because of which you can't make those efforts at all, and you're convinced that it's not going to happen, in that unfortunate situation, I would say that you would probably want to wear something which takes the attention away from your belly fat and takes it towards maybe your face, right? So wearing third layer could be one option, or it could be a third layer as in a jacket or a blazer or something like that, or it could be wearing something where you've got top prints here. If you're wearing a t-shirt, something written here, right? So that will take the attention away from the belly. If you've got muscular arms, taking attention to your hands would be one option. Basically, if you've got belly fat, you should not wear anything which kind of accentuates that. The other thing, what people make a mistake is that they wear tight clothes along with a bulging stomach, right? That's a very deadly combination. That creates a lot of problems for people around you, because you stand up as an eyesore. Nobody's body shaming you, but then you have to also understand that you have to aesthetically dress so that people around you would want to appreciate you. So if you know that you don't have certain things, why flaunt those aspects? I have it, so what? And kind of an attitude is not helping you, not helping them. And that's why we're even having this discussion. So I think the short answer is basically take your attention away from your stomach to other portions of your body, which you feel that you have maintained better.
It's a very, very valid advice that you've given, that before we can actually work on drawing attention from our belly fat, it's better to take our own attention to the belly fat and try and reduce that if it's possible. So, Sourav, I've seen that a lot of men are actually allergic towards shopping. So how can this issue be sorted out?
So I think this is another myth. Men are definitely not allergic to shopping. If you look at data, you will find that male shoppers, are actually much ahead of women shoppers in certain categories: electronics, books, accessories. In certain cases, certain kind of accessories, they are much ahead of women. In fashion, women spend more than men, and the reason is slightly different than what we think it is. It's not about being allergic or repulsive to shopping. The reason is that women shop for their families and men shop for themselves. That's a general trend. And that is one of the reasons that you see that men spending less money on fashion than women. If you look at the amount of money a woman spends on men shopping, the numbers will actually surprise you for many stores. And that will prove to you that women actually shop for their families. Here I would want you to draw your attention to something that I had a discussion with one gentleman called Dr. Hari Menon. You've probably not heard his name, but you've definitely heard the name of his company, Big Basket. So in one of the discussions that we were having in an after party when I was with Target, he was talking about some offers that he's going to come up with giving some discounts and all that. And I was telling him that, see, I understand you're going to give me this offer, but how much am I going to save? $50, $100 on $1,000 bill, you can give me 10%. But how appealing would that 100 rupees be for me? As someone who spends 1,000 rupees, it's not going to be very, very appealing. Now, if you tell me instead that you're going to give me a movie voucher, if I want to make 3,000 rupees bills, and you're going to give me a movie voucher, a couple of movie voucher, then I'm going to definitely get attracted. Not that I can't buy, I also understand the mathematics. 100 rupees on 3 shopping trips is 300, and that's the cost of 2 tickets. So it's not that I'm stupid. It's just that I appreciate that gesture more. Why? Because we value experience. Humans always value experience more than commodities. That is why you don't think twice before having a destination wedding. You don't think twice before taking that expensive holiday. So you have to apply the same logic to retail as well. And you have to look at retail or shopping as not a chore, but an experience, as something that you're spending time with your family, that you're spending time understanding your wife's preferences. You remember those games that we play with couples, saying that we take them separately in 2 corners, and then the husband, we ask that what is your wife's favorite color, and the wife, we ask what is your favorite color, and they're not able to answer. So going back to that game, if you're shopping together, you would know that what toothbrush your wife uses, what color Sourav Dutta she prefers to wear, and probably mostly for people who have been married for a decade or more than a couple of decades. I think this retail is one way for you to go back and understand your wife and remember and revisit her preferences, which may have changed over time. When you met her in her 20s, she would have probably liked a lot of red. Now she's switched to blue, and you don't even know. So next time you want to surprise her on your 25th marriage anniversary, you may actually shock her, because you may pick up a green and come, and then she has stopped wearing green maybe 10 years back, and there's just one way of you telling her that, see, I didn't even notice. And then God bless you.
I think you've just changed the entire concept of shopping, I mean, really, it was really good, sort of. So, coming back to the question, so sort of, I have seen that a lot of men, they don't really understand the difference between formal and smart casual. So, and then, they just end up in a big mess in events. So, would you like to highlight on both the areas of formal and smart casual?
I think most men don't even understand what is casual, what is smart casual, what is formal, what is semi-formal. So let me take a step back and define this. A casual is something which you wear casually, that you can wear at home and you just stepped out of your house wearing that. It could be shorts and tee, around neck tee and the shorts. It could be pajamas and just a V-neck t-shirt. Something which you don't even care as long as it is suiting your body type or body shape, because that remains unchanged depending on whether you're going to office or whether you're going to the mall. The next step is smart casuals, where you're a little mindful of what you're wearing, where you will have to pay attention to the fact that there are people who will be looking at you and you will be in the attention of people. And that could be more at because see, why is it important? Because when I go to a mall, no one is there to meet me. Right? They have all come for their own shopping, and when I'm shopping, I get a side glance, I get a casual glance, and then probably get a reaction, oh my God, how pathetic he looks, or he looks okay, he's unnoticeable, or like he's dressed well. None of that really matters for me. That would not get me 100 rupees discount on my bill. But when you're going to work, then you will be the center of attention for some reason. Maybe for one person, maybe for two people. When I'm saying center of attention, does not always mean going up on stage and taking the mic. I'm talking about you having a meeting with your boss or your peer or going for a coffee with your colleague. All of these are considered to be you being in the center of attention. So when you're there in the center of attention, it is very important for you to understand that you need to dress in a way so that people appreciate you. And that is where smart casual comes in. So a collar t-shirt, a polo t-shirt as they say, and a jeans is a good combination. A v-neck t-shirt and a jeans is an equally good combination. Now, what is not a smart casual? Like you go to an office wearing a t-shirt which is somewhere written that I want you on a cup of tea. See, you are creating an embarrassing situation for yourself and the woman that you're working with, right? I mean, you may not really want her for a cup of tea, but then imagine the woman sitting across you and having a meeting and reads that I want you for a cup of tea, or can we hang out, or something like that. I'm a chill dude. You know, that's not the kind of language that you will use in a workplace. So if that's not the kind of language you will speak in a workplace, then why would you wear that kind of language on you? Simple logic. Now comes the semi-formals. So semi-formals concept was started from a Friday dressing standpoint. And then it kind of went on because semi-formal and smart casuals is now the way of dressing every day at many companies. Semi-formals, it would be like just a shirt and a trouser, a straight trouser. That's the semi-formal. A full formal wear is where you wear a third layer, where you wear a jacket or a suit. Some places you wear a tie. Now, how formal you want to go, that will again depend on the kind of purpose, the kind of company, and all those things. Like for example, within suits also. If you're wearing the third layer, so if you wear a navy blue jacket with a khaki, it is also a very good formal look. It's a very dapper look. Or if you wear, something like a black suit or a blue or a dark navy blue suit, that's also a good formal look. Now you want to take it to the next level, then you may probably want to try some pinstripe suits. Pinstripe navy blue suit with a sky blue shirt. That's like the ultimate when it comes to formal wear. That's like taking it to the next level. Now, one thing you have to also understand that you don't want to wear too formal and then look out of place in a company where everyone is dressed in casuals. I have had this experience myself. So I was working with HP at that time. So in India, in HP, we used to wear formals, particularly when I say formals, it's definitely suits and blazers I'm talking about here, at ties in many cases. We would dress very formally when someone is coming from US, some VP or SVP or DVP. Now that's the culture that's the mindset that I had when I went to US for the first time to meet some of the VPs. And I go there to meet this person, and this person comes to meet me in a shorts and a t-shirt. And imagine my embarrassment. I am going there with a pinstripe suit, with brown shoes, polished tan color shoes, tan color belt. I'm getting all the fundamentals right. I'm going there. And there I find this guy coming in with a t-shirt and a shorts. Now, whether he was dressed appropriately or not, that's a different question. But the fact is that I was too overdressed. So people say that it's okay to always overdo dressing. No, it's not. It really puts you out of place in some certain cases. And if you're in a bunch of people where everyone is coming in t-shirts and shorts, and you're the only person wearing pinstripe suits, and you're telling me that you're not uncomfortable about it, I'm sorry, but then you're lying. You know you're uncomfortable. You're just denying the fact. So it's happened with me, it's happened with all of us. Overdressing, underdressing, both of that can cause a problem. So you have to do a research before you choose the kind of dressing. Whether you want to wear smart casuals, semi-formal, formal, you have to choose that based on the research that you do, for the purpose that you do. And when I say research, I'm not talking about a PhD. A very common glance at a company portal will tell you what kind of dressing the person does. If it's a very casual work environment, like we have in Google, for instance, and you're going there dressed in a pinstripe suits with a tie and a navy blue pinstripe suits and a sky blue shirt with the brown shoes and all that, you say, what is the problem if I'm dressed like that? The problem is that the person sitting opposite you will not be able to connect with you. So you have to do some kind of a research whether you do this. Now, when it comes to a personal level, maybe going on a date, try to find out what colors this girl likes, and try to find out what kind of styling this girl likes. You may love your casuals, you may love your pajamas and your t-shirts, and you'll never get out of them, right? But then when you're on a date, you're there to impress a person, or you're there to know a person, you want to kind of start a new relationship. You don't go there looking like a haggard. You have to go there in a way so that girl appreciates you. Right? So you have to spend some time in understanding her tastes and preferences. There are girls who would say, "Oh wow, you're so nicely dressed," and then there are girls who would say that you're too overdressed here. Are you always like this? So you have to understand the taste. You want to scare her off. Neither do you want her to feel that, who is this guy and why am I even sitting with him. So I think that balance is what we need to do a research and then decide. But when you decide, then these are the options that you have: casual, smart casual, semi-formals, and formals. And then we have got full formals.
Absolutely. I think for all the people who think that how does it matter what kind of clothes I wear, then I think you should definitely see this video, because what Sourav has said is absolutely right. That if you want to make a connection with the person in front, then your clothes do have a major role to play. So I think Sourav, you've given us some very, very valuable advices. So my last question to you is, do you want to share any tips with all the viewers out there?
There are quite a few, I would say. First is that pay attention to your feet. When I'm saying pay attention to your feet, I'm talking about not only the shoes. I'll come to that later. The first thing is your nails. There are a lot of women who tell, "Oh, I hate men getting pedicure and manicure." And a lot of men, they feel proud. "I have never done my nails," right? Big deal. If you have never done your nails and your nails look dirty, your feet looks dirty, it doesn't make you any more successful than a person who has got clean nails. It just makes that other person feel that if his feet is looking like that, no matter, I don't know how he's going to take care of himself. And if you're on a date, then if you're not able to take care of yourself, don't expect a girl to fall for you. So I'm not saying that you need to go and do a pedicure, manicure every week, but once in a while going and doing it and keeping a clean nails doesn't make you any less manly. Even facial, if you want to do it, like there's nothing proud in being a man and not going to a parlor. There are men's parlor, there are unisex parlor, and they're for a reason. There are people who go there, otherwise they would have run out of business. See, anytime you feel that whatever you're doing is out of fashion, have a look around you, the world around you. If you feel that there are businesses which are running in that space, it means that you're not the only one, right? Second thing is, now it comes to the footwear. So get a footwear which is comfortable. Comfort comes over style when it comes to footwear. I have spent selling shoes for 4 years. So I can tell you the best of the shoes are useless if they're not comfortable. It doesn't really at all matter how good they're looking if you can't wear them comfortably. Because nothing is more uncomfortable than a uncomfortable feet. Because your entire body weight is on your feet. So if your feet is not comfortable, then you are not comfortable. The third thing is about the color combinations, the belt and the shoes combinations, particularly. That's a dead giver about your fashion sense. If you're wearing a trouser and a sneakers, trust me, it gives a very horrible impression about your dressing sense. It doesn't work together. The trousers were made to be worn with shoes, and sneakers were made to be worn for a different set of purpose. You can wear them with the jeans, but with the trouser, never. Then, wearing black and brown combination, for instance, like brown belt and black shoes or black belt and brown shoes. Very bad. You should always have a combination of the same color. In fact, I would say if you're wearing a watch, even the watch strap should be of the same color. So if you're wearing a black watch, if you're wearing a black belt, and if you're wearing a black shoe, try to wear a watch which has got a black strap. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to buy 15 different kind of watches. It just means that you have to have 2 different kind of straps. And many watches are available where you can just fix the strap. If you say, "Oh, itna fun karega," so then that's a different question altogether. We complain that there are not a lot of accessories, but then there are so beautiful accessories in the cufflinks. I've seen very few men wearing cufflinks nowadays. Cufflinks are a very good investment for men. It makes you look really smart. It has one more benefit, and that is that your sweat, your palms, your wrists don't sweat so much, because when you've got a very tight cuff buttoned up, then it makes your wrists very uncomfortable. And so remember that this is one of the pressure points from where you sweat. Like other pressure points are there in your body, and that's the reason that the doctors press here, right? So when they're checking your pulse. So wearing a cufflink actually gives you space to breathe here, which makes you very comfortable. Your hands feel very comfortable. The other thing that I can think of is in terms of hair care. Using a good hair care and body care, generally. So try to use a soap-free body wash. Why do I say that? Because what soaps do is they open up the pores. Most of the cheaper soaps, they're nothing but there are a lot of perfumes there in that mixed into it. So you smell good. but that's only for 10 minutes. Once that perfume wears off, after that, your problem starts happening. So if you've got a body odor problem, then you have to treat it at the base of it. Wearing deodorants and perfumes will not solve your problem. You have to first address the issue, and that's what I'm saying. Soapy body washes are very good options. There are very inexpensive ones available in the market. Then using a good shampoo, okay, something which suits your skin type. If you've got dandruff, then you have to use something which prevents dandruff from coming. Yeah. The last step is about perfumes. Perfumes is something that you really need to invest on. You don't have much choice, because that's one sensory organ which you can really impact and leave a very lasting effect about your presence. You can't change the way a person sees you, because you will look whatever you look. You can't change the way a person hears you, because you will sound whatever you sound. But you can change the way the person smells you. That's in your control. So why not make good use of it?
So I think these are just very, very valuable, points that you have given us, and you have added a great value to my channel. So Sourav, there's one request that I have from you. In fact, I do this with all the guests. So just, like I said, everything you've explained is absolutely, perfect. But still, there will be a lot of questions and queries which people might have, and, they would want to approach you in the future. So would you mind me sharing your social media handles with all my viewers?
Absolutely not. Would love it if you do that. See, we run an edutech startup which is invested in building people's personal brand. And this entire aspect of styling and grooming is a very strong addition, defines your personal brand very strongly. So this totally connects with my target group, with my target audience as well. So I see a lot of relevance, a lot of connection, which makes it sense for us to share the social media handles on your platform as well.
So for all the viewers out there, if you want to get in touch with Sourav, I have shared his company details along with his social media handle details down in the description box. So you can refer there and you can get in touch with him in the future if you want. So thank you so much, Sourav, for joining us today in my channel, and you have added a great value. I'm sure a lot of men are going to benefit from this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I hope you liked today's video. Just a reminder, if you still haven't registered for my weekend course on presentation skills, then what are you waiting for? Just write to me on my email ID, which is provided down in the description box as well as on the screen. This is a lifetime opportunity for you to learn graphics, video shooting, editing, and how to make transition videos at a price of just $499. If you like today's video, then do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And while you are subscribing, do not forget to click on the bell icon. I'll see you very soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay stylish all the time. Bye-bye.